don't see a reality where they don't have to either see Buffalo, Kansas City, or Baltimore. Now, they've already beaten Buffalo, but are you going to beat them? Maybe you beat them twice. Maybe they beat them in the regular season, too. You going to beat them 3 times? That feels tough.
It does feel like their regular season schedule, though, does set them up for, getting a good seed in the postseason. Because if you look at the rest of the Patriots' schedule, and I think, some of the haters early on of the Patriots have said, like, the Patriots have played a bunch of nobodies. And so they're beating up on these bad teams. Let's do it against a good team. But then last week they went on the road to a Bucs team that was coming off a bye and still beat them. So I think the list of excuses are kind of dwindling when it comes to the Patriots. But the rest of their schedule sets up pretty nicely. So next up they have the Bengals. They have the Giants. Then they have 2 games where maybe we will truly see what they're made of, where they host the Bills. But again, they've already won the first head-to-head matchup against the Bills. So as far as winning the division, maybe that game's not quite as meaningful for the Patriots. And then they go on the road to Baltimore, which the Ravens will probably be more at full strength. It feels like they'll probably have, a better shot as opposed to like earlier in the season. So that's going to be a good Ravens team that the Patriots go on the road to face on December 21st. But then they close out the season against the Jets and the Dolphins. It feels like a lot of these games are going to be Patriots wins.
That Patriots-Ravens game, by the way, that should get flexed to Saturday. Currently they have Philadelphia and Washington on Saturday, but the expectation was that was going to be Jalen Hurts and Jane Daniels, and that was potentially going to be for the NFC East. Well, it sure doesn't look like Washington is going to be competing for the NFC East, and quite honestly, Philadelphia might have that pretty much locked up by then. They should flex New England and Baltimore to that Saturday spot and then get that in a really good window for fans once the college football embargo lifts and put them on prime time. I would love to see Drake Maye and Lamar Jackson on a Saturday. That'd be must-watch television.
The fact that you already have thought that far ahead, this is December 21st we're talking about. So Denton has already, done.
I got plans on December 20th, and I don't want my plans to be destroyed by my Commanders getting boat raced by the Eagles. So I've been thinking about this for weeks.
But as far as the futures market goes, like I think that the Patriots were 12-1 to win the AFC Championship before that Bucs game, which you missed that number. But now they're down to 8-1. And here's the thing, looking at that schedule, I think this number is only going to shorten because, if they beat the Bengals and Giants and they continue to stack wins and Drake Maye continues to look good, I think this number is going to shorten. So, like, I'm not a huge fan of, like, chasing numbers. And, of course, you could have gotten a better number a couple weeks ago. But can you still make a case for the Patriots at 8-1? Because my perspective is that if they make it to the AFC Championship game, you have one side of the coin for 8-1.
I'd still feel pretty okay with that. But I do think if they beat Buffalo again, that number is going to shrink again. And once it's lower than 8-1, I'm off it. I feel like you've missed the mark. You just gotta live with the consequences of your own inactions for failing to jump on when you should have.
And speaking of odds, we have like a minute left here. It's wild to me, the ascension of Drake Maye up the leaderboard to win the MVP. Because here's the thing, he's putting up good numbers, but what we've seen from Matt Stafford is otherworldly as well. 25 touchdowns, only 2 picks. Drake Maye, still really good as well, but there is only, I think, 10 cents between the two. I think from the top of my head, I think it's Matt Stafford plus 250, Drake Maye plus 260. Is Drake Maye going to win the MVP?
I don't think so. I think Matt Stafford's still going to win, but this is very cool to have a young quarterback and really 2 guys that haven't really sniffed the MVP in recent years. One, because Drake Maye wasn't playing, but having those 2 guys at the top of the conversation in November is awesome.
Yeah, poor Jonathan Taylor shaking his fist. These damn quarterbacks. All right, coming up next.